This is a very, very important part of the evening. It's now my absolute privilege to introduce somebody to all of you who's very special, not only to FLF's work, but also to Nicola Mendelsohn herself. Please now join me in giving a very warm welcome to Nicky Greenhalgh, who's going to share her own story of living with follicular lymphoma. Nicky.
Wow. Hi, everyone. How insane was that auction? I was getting ready to sell my house so I could place a bid. Well, good evening, everyone. I just want to begin by thanking the Follicular Lymphoma Foundation for inviting me here tonight all the way from Australia. Thank you. And thank to all of you for being here tonight to support this truly amazing cause, which is so close to my heart. It's really wonderful to see so many faces in the room, friends, advocates, clinicians, and most importantly, people whose lives have been affected by follicular lymphoma. So my own journey began back in 2014 when I was just 32 years old, married with 2 young children and working full-time as a mortgage broker. I was young and I still felt invincible, as you do at a young age. So self-care wasn't high on my agenda, and I noticed some lumps on my neck, and due to my age, my GP brushed it off. Until 6 weeks later, I went back and saw him and I said, they're still growing and they're still there, there's more. So he sent me for some scans and some biopsies, and I was told that I had stage 4, grade 2 follicular lymphoma. My life instantly shifted from ordinary to unimaginable. I was terrified, confused, and heartbroken all at once. I was immediately put onto a HotMab Thera clinical trial, and I spent a year in treatment before I was sent away to find my new normal. And like so many of you, I was thrown into a world I didn't understand, with more questions than answers, and no knowledge of or access to people who could truly relate to what I was going through. And at the time, I was told that my prognosis was just 10 years. And if it returned within 2 years, then my prognosis was worse. And that was just terrifying. I looked at my babies and I just knew that that was never going to be enough time. The anxiety and depression that followed was extremely debilitating for myself and my family. And I felt extremely isolated because I had no one around me to relate with. I was scared and teary on a daily basis. I felt lost and confused, and as a mum, I was on autopilot. I had a wake-up call that year in November 2015 when I went into my daughter's Year 1 classroom at school drop-off. And they had displayed all of the kids' letters to Santa Claus that year. I looked around until I found my little Lila's letter, and I read that her only Christmas wish that year was for Mum to be happy every day. And that was the moment that I realised that my deteriorating mental health was also affecting my kids, and that drove me to take control and to seek out the people that I desperately needed to connect with to be able to move on with my life. This is when I started the Living with Follicular Lymphoma community. It was a place where we could connect with people that truly gets me, and we share our stories and support one another through all of the uncertainty. And what began as a small Facebook group has now grown into an extraordinary global network of over 15,000 people from over 100 different countries. About a year after I started the community, I received a direct message from a lady named Nicola Mendelsohn. She explained that she had also been diagnosed with FL. She enjoyed the community and wanted to help out. She then said that she worked for Facebook and could help out as an admin. So after a quick Google search to confirm that yes, she was a real person, pardon me, we quickly became firm friends and we shared the determination to change the future of this disease. We would often talk about how important it is for follicular lymphoma to be cured. So in 2019, Nicola turned that vision into reality by launching the Follicular Lymphoma Foundation. It's a place where everything we have been talking about, dreaming about, suddenly had a platform. It was born out of courage, passion, and a deep commitment to change the future of this disease. The foundation brought together the strength of our community with the power to fund research, raise awareness, and unite a global effort to find a cure. From the very beginning, the FLF and the patient community have worked side by side to ensure that lived experience shapes every decision, every goal. We've turned personal stories into research insights, support groups into advocacy, and connection into real-world impact. And personally, this partnership has changed everything for me. After 10 incredible years of being no evidence of disease, my lumps have started to return. But this time, I feel something completely different. Something I didn't have back then. The comfort of true connection and support. Because this time I'm not alone. I have a foundation that represents me and a community that stands with me and a future that feels full of possibility. And as a mum, that's everything. Because when my children look at me now, they see someone surrounded by hope, by progress, and by people doing everything they can to find a cure. They see what's possible when people come together, a future filled with progress, purpose, and the promise of a cure. And that's exactly what the Follicular Lymphoma Foundation represents. It's the way they listen, really listen to the people living with this disease. From the start, patient voices have been at the heart of everything they do. The FLF doesn't just fund research. They hear our fears, our hopes, and our everyday challenges, and they turn them into action. So tonight, on behalf of every FL patient and every family touched by this cancer, I want to say thank you to the FLF for everything that you do for our community. And to our incredible donors, past, present, and future, thank you. Your generosity turns hope into progress. It's more than a gift. It's a lifeline for families like mine and for thousands more. And together, we can unlock the cure. Thank you.